Today, Hallmark honors on the Hall of Fame Martha Berry. She was one of America's outstanding educators and personalities. With a courage and a determination reminiscent of the early pioneers, she brought progress in education to thousands of her less fortunate compatriots. Though today we take education for granted, less than 70 years ago, reading and writing were the privilege of the few rather than the right of the many. And this was especially true of the mountainous regions of the Deep South, where educational facilities were at this time at their poorest and where suspicion of anything tending towards progress at its greatest. That all this was radically changed was greatly due to the efforts of Martha Berry, herself a Southerner who was born in 1866 near Rome, Georgia, on the Berry family estate where she grew up. After going up north to a finishing school in Baltimore, Martha Berry returned to Georgia and to the comfortable life of a wealthy young Southern girl. It is at this point that our story opened in 1887 on the porch of the stately white-pillared Berry Mansion on the day of the annual barbecue.
And now I have something extra special to announce. Martha's promised to accompany me to the Peachtree Cotillion.
Well, Martha, that's wonderful news.
Well, Bradford, I guess all the rest of you boys better go out and shoot yourselves. Martha's lost to you.
When's the wedding, ma'am?
What wedding? Oh, Wesley asked me to the cotillion. I accepted. Does that mean I have to marry him? Besides, I shan't be here long enough to marry anyone.
Shan't be here. Where you going? Haven't you been away enough?
Surely you've given up the idea of going to New York, Martha.
Why, dear, your papa'd roll over in his grave if he knew Martha was spending his money up north. I don't intend to spend any of Papa's money. I'm going to work.
Work? At what?
I don't know. Thought something to teach in school. Anything to make myself useful. I am an emancipated woman.
The only emancipated woman I ever knew lived in a side street in Memphis.
Well,
Bradford, that remark's not very proper.
Martha,
well, Reverend Dennis.
would you really consider becoming a teacher? This country needs teachers.
Yes, I believe I would. In a fashionable girls' school.
And what makes you think you have any talent for teaching?
Well, my last year in Baltimore, I taught a whole class of little girls. I never been so happy nor felt so powerful in my whole life. It's wonderful showing people the way. I could help humanity, I know it.
That's admirable, if a little highfalutin. You know, right here in the mountains of Georgia, there are several poor souls who'd be satisfied with learning the alphabet.
The hill people, they don't want education. What a waste of my time that would be.
They're a segment of humanity, my dear.
Yes, but not a segment I want to have anything to do with. Proud and ignorant, and particularly proud of their ignorance. Oh, no!
Bring your trash around.
Say, what are you doing here? Have you been stealing something here? Let me look.
Don't do that, dear. Let her go, Bradford.
Oh, ma'am, little
Let
devil.
her go. My name is Martha Berry. What's yours?
Martha, what in Sand Hill?
Wesley, won't you tell me your name? Just as a friendly gesture.
Ingeborg Carpenter. And I ain't done nothing to be ashamed of.
I don't believe you have. What were you doing here?
Nothing. Just looking, listening, pleasuring my eyes with all the fine dresses you uns got on. And hearing the fiddling.
Waiting for a chance to get your hands on family silver,
Please, I wouldn't know what to do with it if I took it. We got no need for silver.
Bad-mannered little thing. I think you're a fool, dear. You're not to search this child.
You can search me if you want. Even that's not bad manners.
Well, I declare. Dear, we're driving this little girl home.
Let me go with you. There's no telling what'll happen to you in the mountains.
Even I'm safe there, so is the lady. She's bigger than I am.
There, you see? Come along.
Martha,
Yes,
may I speak with you for a moment?
certainly, Ron.
You've won the child's confidence with remarkable skill. Such skill is one of the important qualifications of a teacher, and I bow to your talent.
You see, I've shown you. You didn't believe me.
But if you trifle now, you may be sorry.
Oh, I'm seldom sorry for anything I do. Besides, I'll wager I can make a little lady out of Ingeborg.
She's already a little lady.
You know what I mean. I'll show you I have resources. I'll show them all.
Education is not a demonstration of resources. It's a dedication. And not just to one, but to many. And so I ask you again, don't treat this as a lark.
You wait. I'll surprise you. Ingerby, tell Wesley where to take us.
Well, it's straight ahead along Possum Trot, then right to top of Bar Mountain, then down the other side a small bit. Just 2 skips in a hollow past the fork in Squabble's Creek. It's easy as nothing for her to find.
Just follow the directions, Wesley. Come along, Ingerby.
Thank you, Reverend Dennis, for discouraging Martha. I'd appreciate it if you'd go right on showing her the error of her ways.
I'm afraid you misunderstand me. I wasn't exactly aiming to do that.
Oh?
Here we are, Miss Barry. This nice lady drove me home. All the ways up here in a coach and 1. These here are my pa and my ma and my brother Talbot.
Well, your little girl and I have become friends.
This here's Miss Barry.
It's my pleasure to meet you. We had a real exciting drive up here. We own quite a parcel of land up on Lavender Hill up by Foster's Bend. And you know, I never even seen it. But now that I found my way up
Could
here...
I maybe fetch a drink of water?
How did you meet up with...
I hid in some bushes. I was watching and listening to a social they was having. I was spying.
Oh, not at all. Well, we were delighted to have her.
She ain't got no call to be visiting you. If she does ever again, I'll count it as a disobedience.
Well, that's ridiculous. What possible reason could you have for not letting her visit me?
Just that I ain't for her visiting you, that's all.
You live out yonder. We live up here. It's a heap of reasons. Although I always had kind of a hankering myself to go down and look when I was a young'un.
And we don't want any down valley folk calling on us, showing off in their finery. You got chores to do, young'un. Maybe double chores. To tame your wild, ornery streak.
Yes, Pa.
May I come to see Ingerby again?
You're just as beholden to you if you didn't.
But I could do something for her.
I figured you weren't just being neighborly. Outlanders never are. Now, what you aiming at?
I would like to teach Ingerby to read and to write.
She ain't got no call to learn reading and writing. I can't read and write. Her ma can't. What call she got to differ from her folk? Anything she'll learn from me, from her own folk. Anything anybody else got to learn her ain't welcome.
You're exactly as I expected you to be. Exactly. Why can't you believe I mean to help Ingerby, to help you for that matter? Well, we're all the same people down there, up here. What do you mean being so snobbish and standoffish? Locking yourself up in these hills, never changing what you were 100, 200 years ago? Proud of standing still, sotted with ignorance?
I calculate you better be going, Miss Berry. I respect your valley ways, else if you was one of our women, you'd be whipped. And whipped hard for overstepping yourself. Come on, Talbot. Let's go look at some hogs. Reckon I'd get some pleasure out of that. After being in here.
I'm sorry, Ingerby. Mrs. Carpenter, I didn't mean to. But I intend to see you again. I'll be back.
Thank you, Miss Barry. Thank you for everything.
It don't do no good, young'un, to wish and to hope. Never did, and it never will.
Never in my entire life have I been so raging, fuming mad. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that child out of the hills. I'm going to teach her everything I know.
Why?
Oh, why? Isn't that what you yourself suggested I do?
Well, in part, yes. Except as well as Ingerby, there are hundreds of other children needing to learn everything you know. It's just as easy to teach 50 as it is one.
Well, I couldn't cope with 50. Besides, I doubt if the children are any different from their parents. They're contented to stay just as they are. I need a fertile mind like Ingeby's.
Oh, I see. And how do you propose to teach her what she should know?
Oh, I'll ride up Possum Trot Way and accidentally on purpose stop in at Ingeby's cabin. Or, better yet, I'll arrange to have Ingeby meet me on top of Lavender Hill, which we own, so they can't shoo me away. You see, if the mountain won't come to Mohammed, Mohammed goes to the mountain.
Are you so sure the mountain won't come?
Howdy, Miss Barry.
Ingeby.
So, you found your way down to us again. All by your lonesome.
Well, 'tain't exactly alone. These ones are a mess of kinfolk. Not forgetting Talbot, my brother.
Oh,
Figured if I was going to get whooped for coming here, might just well have company being whooped. Talbot's got a piece to speak.
Got no piece to speak? Just don't believe it of it.
believe what, Talbot?
Can you really read? Just wanted to come down here to find out.
I can.
Can you let us see you read? Ain't never seen nobody read.
Why, I'll be delighted. What shall I read?
Anyone claiming can read reads out the Bible.
I suppose you're right, Talbot. Well, if you just excuse me a minute, I'll look inside.
Oh, no need, Martha, to do that. I find it indispensable in my work.
Well, any particular section you'd like to hear?
Oh, us was hearing from Ma about David. But we ain't never heard it read.
David. Oh, that's one of my favorites. Well, yes, the book of Samuel. And it came to pass in an evening tide that David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman washing herself. And the woman was very beautiful to look upon. And one said, "Is not this Bathsheba?"
Might I make a suggestion? Try 1 Samuel 17, a little earlier in David's long career.
Oh, perhaps you're right. And his sling was in his hand, and he drew near to the Philistine. And it came to pass, when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the army to meet the Philistine. And David put his hand in his bag, and took thence a stone, and slang it, and smote the Philistine in his forehead. And the stone sunk into his forehead, and he fell upon his face to the earth.
This was the beginning. Every Sunday the children came while the summer lasted. It was not enough that Martha read to them. Slowly, diligently they learned to read for themselves. And after reading came writing. Patiently the children unraveled the mysteries of the alphabet. By October, it was Martha's turn to be the listener.
Me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my...
Well, Ingeby, that was beautiful. Whatever could be the matter?
The leaves are turning. Pretty soon they begin to fall. What are we going to do come winter, Miss Barry?
We had never seen the bottom of our mountain. Snow flies and bird call.
Spring's get all swelled up and ground muddy's over.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I know. This nonsense is going to come to a welcome end. We've become the laughing stock of the whole country.
Have we? Who's laughing? Anyone that matters?
Well, my friends matter. No one calls anymore. And look at yourself. More haggard every day. You're getting to look just like one of those mountain women.
Miss Barry's a mighty pretty lady.
Or Sunday lady.
Sunday lady, a possum trot. That's a fine name for a berry. If you have no regard for yourself, I insist you think of me. I feel contaminated by all this riffraff.
How
This kind of ne'er-do-well
this
trash.
way. Shame on you. You speak of trash.
The woman is right.
Oh!
We're trash. And her way of putting it, we aim to stay that way. Now, you children, get on back up to the mountain. Don't let anybody ever catch you away from there again. Now, get. I'll unlearn with this she-devil on you if it takes me the rest of my life.
And now for the second act of Forgotten Children on the Hallmark Hall of Fame.
Mr. Carpenter, they were not the disobedient ones. I was. And if I was, it's because I was doing what I know is right. Already they can read out of the Bible. Can you do that? Could your father before you or his father?
No, they didn't intend to. The Lord intended us to read. We'd be reading. Leave everything to the Lord.
Does the Lord plant your crops for you, milk your cows, cook your food?
He tells us inside what to do and what not to do. That's sufficient for me.
And he told me inside to teach these children what I could. They'll come back to me. They must come back to me.
You'll never see them again. They ain't likely to disobey once the foolish notion is taken out of them.
Oh, please don't hurt them, please.
Well, that would seem to be that.
Oh, it was my fault.
Oh, Martha, don't you see how hopeless it was to begin with? What did you accomplish except to make everyone miserably unhappy?
I wasn't miserably unhappy. Quite the contrary. I never knew happiness before. And it wasn't hopeless. Nothing's hopeless. It's just that we give up hope too soon.
Yes, dear. But let's not give up our plans for tonight.
Delia, have you ever been to Lavender Hill?
What, that wasteland we own? That's useless.
How much would it cost to clear out Lavender Hill? Build on it, build a road up to it?
All you've got, and more.
My inheritance money's $100,000. Can I get it?
Martha, what are you driving at?
All of it in a lump sum?
Martha, this is insane.
Can I get it?
Yes, you can get it, but why?
I want to build a school on Lavender Hill.
Papa's money? Squandered on useless land?
Squandered? To yield a darn sight better crop than it does now? That's what Papa did when he built up this place.
Oh, leave well enough alone, Martha. The mountain folk use Lavender Hill for a hunting ground. Among other things, they're not going to relish your taking it away from them.
There's a hunger, even greater than that for food. A hunger for knowledge. That's the hunger I want to satisfy.
Martha proceeded to satisfy that hunger. The land was cleared, the road built, the school building erected. But Delia had been right. It took Martha's every cent. But now she was ready. She rode into the mountains to tell the people that she had a school for them, a school that would cost them nothing. But everywhere she went, she encountered resentment. Pa Carpenter had been there before. She found herself alone in an empty schoolhouse. And there was no response to the school bell.
Well, here, you she-devil. Way out here before we burn the house down. You in it. Way out.
Come out and face me. Come out and face me, say that. Thank you. Where is Ingerbee? How is Ingerbee?
Them carpenters, they're dying. They got autumn fever. Some others dying, too.
Oh, wait!
Is that water boiled, Pa? Don't give my water ain't boiled. Kettle's got 4 water cooling. Miss Barry! Something told me you'd come.
Came as soon as I heard about it. I would have come sooner.
Reckon you would. Williams is better. Joshua's nearly lost us. But he's better.
Where is he?
At the neighbor's. We all do what the writing says.
What writing?
The writing the doctor give me. We hens wasn't allowed to see Miss Berry. So when Ma took sick, guess I was wild and ornery, 'cause I went to see the Reverend Dennis, and he sent me to a doctor. Folks up here don't allow no doctor. So I copied down everything the doctor man said for me to do, and I passed it along so we hens could read it. Well, nobody else took sick. And I've been reading out the Bible to comfort my mom, to help my pa.
I'm going to some of the other cabins, see what I can do. I want to see Joshua.
Oh, him are right pleased to see you. And tell him over and over, no whole victuals, a raw egg is good, and maybe you can bathe some of them that don't feel well.
All through the night, Martha visited the cabins in the community, helping in any way that she could. And then at dawn, she returned to her school. Exhausted as she was, she felt the exhilaration of having once more been useful.
I reckon it's how I owe you a second visit, Miss Berry.
Oh, you don't owe me anything. You're not beholden to me.
Well, the little gal saved her ma's life and maybe some others. My ma and pa died of the autumn fever, and 2 young ones before Ingeborg come. I thought it was the Lord's will. No, ma'am, I ain't beholden to you. Just thankful. There's a mighty difference. Well, what did that say?
The Lord is my shepherd.
Want to read it for myself, if that's ever likely.
You want to read? Oh, it's likely. Oh, we can make anything likely.
You got mountain people spunk, Miss Berry. The day you fired that gun at us, I knowed.
This was really the beginning of the Berry School. More log cabins were built, the fields were tilled, and people sent help not just from Georgia, but from every state in the Union. And over the years, it grew into 125 buildings, including a college on a campus of 35 acres. The school became an incorporated township, Mount Berry, Georgia, with its own fire department, post office, cannery, and printing plant, all run by students guided by the motto, work as you learn. At the age of 75, Martha Berry died, a woman who had become an institution, a beacon for the children of the mountain regions of Georgia, for whom she lifted the veil between light and dark.
Sarah Churchill will be back in just a moment to tell you about next week's story on the Hallmark Hall of Fame. Remember, a Hallmark card, when you care enough to send the very best.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, Hallmark pays tribute on the Hall of Fame to the 3 Bronte sisters, who gave the world such gems as Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. Our story will be called Our Sister Emily, and I shall have the fun of playing Charlotte Bronte. And now I have an important message for you from the Red Cross. They want to know what happened to that pint of blood you promised to give. This is a very urgent call, ladies and gentlemen, so if you haven't, will you please, as soon as you can, give 1 pint of your blood. Now, until next week, oh, by the way, we have a new time. During the summer, we shall be on in the evenings. So until next week, goodbye, and thank you for letting us come into your home.
Protect your American citizenship. Be sure you are registered to vote this year.